That's my best Richtofen impression. Not very good. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the video, and today we're going to talk about, I guess, a wish list, you could call it, just things that I hope Treyarch puts into FirebaseZ. Things that, you know, if we can get this video in front of the right people, maybe they'll put some of these things in if it's not too late. Probably too late, regardless, but it's things I want to see. And let me know what you guys want to see in the comments down below, because I want to get my wheels spinning for making content about this map, and I want to make some stuff that you guys want to see. And when you guys leave comments, it gives me tons of ideas. So please don't hesitate to leave a piece of your mind. The fifth thing, or whatever you want to call it, whichever way the list goes, we'll start at 5. I think that they need to implement tons of side quests. Like, it doesn't have to be just to get a perk or something silly to get like extra salvage. It could be small things like that. That's fine. I would prefer it to be a little more in depth. And when I say in depth, I'll give some examples. But before we get to that, more wonder weapon side quests, mini weapon side quests, like quests for buildables, and just like good rewards. Maybe there's a perkaholic, or maybe they can do another, not as silly, but another coffin dance Easter egg where we get a cool weapon, a wonder weapon, and a perk. Like, that was really awesome. But I would like to see there be a little more involvement regarding some of the steps. So some examples that I brought up are the Shadow Claw wonder weapon Easter egg from the Dead of the Night. Now, if you don't remember what this was, you had to get a bunch of Nosferatu kills or something like that. I can't quite remember how you did it. And then a freaking tomb would move out of the way, and you would go underground and kill a bunch of Nosferatus and werewolves, and then you would get a Shadow Claw that would one-hit the red Nosferatu. Really, really awesome mini quest that benefited you in the long run of the game, and that weapon isn't in the box or anything. It's exclusive to that little quest, as well as the steak knife quest in the Dead of the Night, where you go to that tree and you have to get the piece of wood, and then you collect the souls, and then you get the steak knife. It's really cool. I thought that was great to be able to do a little side quest that kind of flows with the Easter egg, as well as benefiting you in the long run, one-shotting that stupid red Nosferatu. I think the entire mask system for Gorod Krovi and Revelations was amazing, and I would love to see things like that coming back into Black Ops Cold War in general, not just this map. I think another great side quest was that pod, or that egg replicator thing in Zetsubo, that gave you an extra life, and it would also put you back to wherever you were in the Easter egg or in the game. So if you were on round 19 and you implanted your DNA into this little sack, when you would die on round 50, you would go back to essentially round 19, have all your perks, your weapons packed, or whatever, wherever you left off at that moment, and go right back to playing. It was so great. So I would really like to see more little mini side quests, or quests that kind of flow along the Easter egg that aren't necessary to do, but make the experience better and more fulfilling by giving us more tasks if that's the kind of player you are. Coming in at number 4, the next thing I think this map really needs is cutscenes. So obviously we saw a gameplay trailer. It was great. I freaking loved the FirebaseZ trailer. One of the best trailers I think we've ever had. But I want to see more storyline information coming from our cutscenes rather than the intel system. It's something that I just don't care about at all. World War II had it, and I think the feature is necessary so that we don't have to just go into the game and listen to a radio. It's in our menus. It's a great feature, but making that the main feature, it's not very exciting. And unfortunately, you have to gain intel in Onslaught and in game, and it's at random. It's very stupid. So I think the D Machina cutscene, the intro cutscene, was great. It was like a spy thriller movie almost. It was, it was a little cheesy, it was a little hokey, it was a little predictable, but it was beautiful. And the way they told the story with visuals and the dialogue, it was just great, and it really did hook me. I think another amazing intro cutscene was the Zetsubo cutscene. We all have that memorable line, "I don't speak Japanese."
I'm sorry, I don't speak Japanese.
That's my best Richtofen impression. Not very good, obviously. And I think the Derizen Drak outro cutscene is one of the most impactful, one of the best. Same with the Gorod Krovi. Pretty much anything in Black Ops 3 regarding cutscenes was just amazing. I mean, there's just so many good cutscenes that we have seen in the history of Black Ops that I think it's selling the game short. And I know it's going to be kind of difficult with the operators, how they're not integrated into the game, but let's focus on Maxis and Weaver and this new Revanov guy. There's tons of reasons why we could have have cutscenes now. There's more than enough characters in this game that are not playable that we can utilize. Coming in at number 3, and while this was in Die Maschine, I would like to see it expanded upon, and that is challenge systems in game and out of game. Clearly, we have the daily challenges or the reserves that you can select, like get 15 tomahawk kills or 200 submachine gun kills. That stuff is already in the game, and yeah, that's great. It's XP, and there is a challenge system inside of the game that allows you to get up to, you know, common, rare, legendary, and epic for different rarities where you can get perks, guns, the wonder weapon, and I think that stuff is perfect, and I don't want it changed to go backward, but I think we can evolve it a little bit by maybe somehow incorporating, if you do all the challenges and you do all the side quests and you do all the main quests and all that stuff, if you just are a completionist in your zombie map, you get a free blueprint or you get a free Samantha Max's skin, operator skin. You know what I'm saying? I think that they really need to up the ante with the rewards, having them be able to be earned in multiple different ways or a combination of ways. I mean, I think we could have cool camos, cool character skins, weapon blueprints, even like wonder weapon skins that you could apply to an AK-47. Imagine having like a Wonderwaff looking AK-47. We're actually supposed to get something like that. We're probably gonna have to buy it, but imagine if you could just earn that instead by playing the game, doing all of the tasks that they allow us to do. And it doesn't have to be necessary, but it's a free thing in the game that you can earn at any point in time from the day it's launched to the day they shut down the servers in 10 years. I don't know. And if for some reason they decided to add consumables into this game, which I doubt they will at this point, make it so we can earn that currency in game, whether it's how we did it with Liquid Dividium, where you open doors and stuff like that, or through the challenge system inside the game as well. Coming in at our number 2 spot, and this is kind of hard to do because it's not really something you can design for, but making the Easter egg replayable, fun, simple, and challenging. I know this sounds so picky, but it's very important. Think about the Horizon Drag Easter egg, guys. Is it hard? Not necessarily, but the steps are simple. We know how to do them now. Obviously, when we discovered them at the time, it was difficult to figure out, but now it's just ingrained in our memories. It's challenging. It's you know it by heart pretty much, and it's satisfying to do. It has this balance of replayability. It's fun. It's challenging. It's interesting. I think there's a good dynamic with that Easter egg, and I know you can't capture lightning in a bottle every single time. I'm not trying to be unrealistic, but I just don't want this to be some super challenging, crazy Easter egg where I'm, escorting manglers 500 feet to, just get killed by zombies because I have to go really slow and then he runs the other direction. Like I don't want that, and I don't want some crazy puzzle with a crazy cipher that I have to solve like the Venom X and Infinite Warfare's Beast from Beyond, but something with a nice balance between fun, replayability, simple yet challenging to discover, and the hunt needs to be more than 2 hours. I remember loading up the game, watching some people Easter egg hunt, because the way I do it is I wait for people to start hunting, then I kind of, piggyback a little bit off of them and learn how to pack a punch and all that stuff. And then I start hunting once they kind of get the ball rolling, because I'm not that good at that stuff. So I just try to see where they're heading, and then I just kind of follow along. I'm not planning on being a world record, Easter egg solver anytime soon. But I just think a day or two for an Easter egg hunt is more than fair. But when you literally have writing floating in the air like they did with Die Maschine, I just think that's a little too on the nose, and it's just not really enjoyable, especially when I go to relearn it. It gets simpler every time in a bad way. And coming in at the number 1 position, and again, I know you can't design for this, but an epic boss fight and something you can design for, great boss fight mechanics. Now, we don't know if the boss fight is that Elder God. For all we know, that could just be like a trap or a side Easter egg or part of a cutscene. I have no idea what that is. And when I think of a great boss fight, I pretty much go to IW and some of Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3's boss fights were all over the place. The Nikolai boss fight comes to mind as one of the best out of all zombies history. I think we can say the Mephistopheles boss fight is amazing. The Attack of the Radioactive Things boss fight is amazing. Hell, even the Raven the Redwoods boss fight is pretty decent. And when I think of these, the reason they're fun is not because it's some giant boss that's attacking you. It's because of the way you have to go about killing him. It's tactful. It's honestly, there's like a great balance to where everything fits into place, especially with the Mephistopheles boss fight. That is just perfection. It's 5 sequences. It's challenging. You have to memorize his patterns of attacking you. There was no real memorization with Nikolai. It was just kind of shoot those little yellow lights and hope for the best, I suppose. So I really think that a Mephistopheles type boss fight would be a little too epic for this map. I would rather have that be for DLC 4 or 5 or whatever, however many there are, but something innovative, something that I want to keep playing, something that's going to kick my ass and I'm going to die and I'm going to have to keep learning it, because this D Machina, I don't know, protect the guy who doesn't even really get hurt. It wasn't satisfying. I found it to be very boring. I've done it only like 2 times, whereas all these other Easter eggs I've completed dozens and dozens of times, wanting to go back, wanting to play them, wanting to speedrun them, wanting to get better. And if D Machina is just one map in our arsenal of not having a boss fight, that's fine. But if this is going to be a pattern for the rest of the season, I'm not really looking forward to that. And that's why I think FirebaseZ needs to have a decently epic boss fight, or maybe like a 2-tier boss fight with a lockdown protective sequence, kind of like something from Tagged or Toten, and then we go into a boss fight. Something epic that builds up on itself and then hopefully ends with a beautiful cutscene, along with all these amazing Easter eggs, side quests, and fun wonder weapons and fun things that we just didn't see in the trailer that we get to sink our teeth into. I know it's a big list. I know it's a lot to ask, and I would be grateful if they just did one of these things, and I'm going to be grateful if they do none of them, because I don't get too upset about this stuff. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Leave a like, leave a sub, leave all the stupid things that I have to ask for, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.